Good evening, everybody. My name is Todd Scholl. I serve as the lead learner for the SCEA's Center for Educator Wellness and Learning. We call ourselves Cool, and you can find more information about us at cool.us. That's CEWL.us. There it is right there. CEWL.us. You can find all the live streams that we do, all the resources that we have at our Center for Educator Wellness and Learning on that website. And we would love for you to explore that, including you can request free professional learning from the folks at Cool. We will come to your school or district. If you are a public school district or a school in South Carolina, we will come and do free professional learning. We can do everything from, technology sessions to classroom management to mindfulness to trauma-informed practices. There's a whole host of things. You can check out our website, and we will be more than happy to talk with you about some dates to come and work with your team at your school. If you are an individual and you're interested in stuff, we have our micro credential portal that we offer through our NEA to all of our members. We also have a lot of events coming up, like our educator mindfulness retreat. We also have our trauma-informed workshop coming up in July, our educator health and wellness day. So there's a whole bunch of stuff on the website for you to check out. And of particular interest tonight, I would just point you into the direction of Cool Coaching. And if you're not familiar with this, Dr. Marcella Weinsnyder came onto the Cool team over this past summer and hit the ground running and developed a whole host of resources for induction teachers. And one of those resources is something called Cool Coaching. And this is where 3 veteran educators provide free one-to-one online coaching for our induction teachers. And that would be teachers within the first 5 years of their career. And they can do this every Tuesday and Thursday night. So it's actually happening right now from 6 to 8 o'clock. You can find the link to join them on the Cool website at cool.us/coaching. Well, tonight I wanted to talk to you more about free professional learning resources. And we thought it would be great to bring one of these younger teachers on who knows about a bunch of great free resources. And she's just an amazing educator, and she's doing so many things as a leader, as a young leader in our movement. She's currently in her 4.5 year of teaching, so she's right on the edge of being done with this, what we consider induction, that beginning part. She teaches 2nd grade, and she enjoys teaching in the foundations and structure of helping our present students build a better future. Outside of teaching, she wears many hats that help foster and nurture the continued growth of early career educators, including being the Low Country chairperson for SEEN, which is our South Carolina Early and Noble Educators program. And that group is going to be holding their SEEN conference this Saturday. And I'm really lucky to be going and doing some sessions on both mindfulness and the docuseries that we've created called Rehumanizing School. So I'm really looking forward to working with those new educators, because they're so inspiring, full of energy and great ideas. And I learn as much from them as they'll learn from me. That's for sure. But without further ado, let's bring on tonight's guest. Her name is Alexandria Murray. Hi, Alexandria. How are you?
Hey, Todd. I'm good. How are you?
So how was your day today?
Honestly, it's that cusp of spring break. So our spring break is actually next week. So the kids are starting to feel it, getting those little jitters in. But overall, all in all, it was still a great day. And I told the kids, I said, we have 2 more days left, and then the spring break is ours, and then you guys can go home and relax and just spend time with your families.
Yeah, I always found this to be one of the toughest times of the year, because it's been a while since you've had that holiday break.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still kind of cold outside, and but it's starting to warm up and get nice. You're like, man, I'd really like to get outside.
Right.
You're kind of tired, and testing's coming up, and just it can be a really stressful time of year. And that spring break is like an oasis in the middle of that, and it's like, okay, let me catch my breath there, and then all right, make it through the rest of the year. So
Yes.
I hear you for sure. So Alexandria, let's start with you're a relatively new teacher, becoming a veteran. How and why did you get into this field?
Oh, wow, that's such a good question. And I always love that question when it comes to asking teachers, why did they do this? Why did you come into this profession? Um, for me, and my parents will tell you, they're actually watching online. Hey, y'all. They said, like, even when I was little, like, I would, kind of just like have that knack of, if I had like my little stuffed animals or something, I would like pretend I was in class with them and I would give them like the rules, or like we would go over like ABCs and stuff. And they said, we have to foster that, we have to nurture that, and I always believe that when you have that foundation, especially as a child, and that, that support of, hey, I want to do this, and you have that nurturing and you can go for it. And so I love teaching. I feel like it runs in my blood, type of thing, where my mom is a retired teacher, and
Mm.
I come from a family of teachers and all just these different things, and just the things of what's been taught, and why we go into this profession. And I know sometimes in this climate, we don't get the best of the news that's being received, but there are still some great things that are happening. And so that's what I try to tell people is, sometimes you just have to ignore what you see on the outside, and you really, really, just sit down with the educator and just kind of see, like, our thoughts, our processes as to why we do this. Because I always tell people, when you come into education, you have to make sure that it's a calling. You have to make sure that it's something that you want to do, and you have to make sure that you are not only fostering that for your children and pouring into them, but you also need to have that time to pour into yourself. So that way it's balanced. And then, like that synergy is there where,
Mhm.
you got to fill your cup up for you, but, you can also do what you can for your students, but then you have to make that work. But for me, I love teaching. I love being in this profession. I will always support this profession. And just for the many years to come, for those that are looking at us now to say, hey, there are still some teachers here that are in their early years, and we want to do the same thing that they're doing as well. So I love it.
Right. And I love teaching as well. And when you're in the right place,
Yes.
when you have a good school leader and you have a good school environment, it's such a wonderful place, a wonderful thing to do. And I love how when your group seen South Carolina Early Noble Educators, when you came up with that name, you used the word noble because it is such a noble profession and it deserves to be treated like a noble profession. And unfortunately, there's so many people out there right now that are really disrespecting the profession and eroding it and degrading it and creating a lot of unnecessary stress. It is a noble profession and it deserves a high level of respect because the work that you do, the work that educators do, is so important. Preparing the kids of our future, the future South Carolinians, future Americans, future leaders. That happens in classrooms all across our state and across our country, and that work is vitally important.
Thank you.
Um, in order to do that work effectively, I think you've become aware that it's a craft. Like what we do is a craft, and that we have to constantly be looking for better ways to do, or new ways, or innovative ways to do the work that we're doing, which requires us to access high quality professional learning.
Mhm.
And I've always been a proponent of educators having control over that and autonomy over their learning instead of being told, this is what we need you to learn. It's like, this is my craft. How do understanding, like, where do I need help, or what am I curious about in terms of perfecting my craft and being able to do that? What are your thoughts about how we can deliver? What are the necessary components of effective professional learning for educators, in your opinion?
Absolutely. I think, just kind of talking to our educators. There's so many things that are shifting, right now, even as we speak, just different things being passed or regulated. And, we kind of have to figure out, okay, our next move, do we want to teach this, or are we allowed to teach this? How can we teach this? And I just feel like, if we really take that time to sit down with those that are in the classroom to say, hey, I see you, how can I support you? How can I give you this? What else do you need? Do you need, help in this area? Do you need help in this craft? Like you said, because with teaching, and it's so funny because like I was telling my mom and dad, and like how they told me, they said that teaching's an art and a science, so it's like a song and a dance. And one is always going to help with the other is going to help with, and vice versa. And so when you can build those two assessments together and those two practices together, it can really create something beautiful. And, and just like you said, having those innovations, having those new crafts, having those new skills, and just, kind of catching up, with the times, as we say, and just kind of seeing, what's new, what can we incorporate, and how can we use that effectively in our classrooms, but still producing, high quality education, because I still believe that it's out there. High quality education is still here, but
Right.
we need to have that proper support to continue to help our teachers and our students and the community, because they all serve a purpose together.
That's beautiful. Really, really well said.
Thank
Um,
you.
so tonight you wanted to share some free professional learning resources that have
Yes.
been helpful to you. So I'd like to just give you the stage and share those, and maybe we can put some links in the chat if you're able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and share those resources for us.
Okay, perfect. So for all teachers that are in the South, the state of South Carolina, there's actually a website that is free for everyone to use, and it's called ed.sc.gov. And so I like to say this is like your one-stop shop. You can literally find everything on this page, from standards, for math, science, reading. There's physical education on there. You can look at your districts, your schools. There's so many things that is offered on here, to where, if you take the time, and it doesn't have to be something that's in one night, because it's a lot on there, but it's great stuff. And, you can go on and, like, for example, for our early educators, if they have questions about their initial certification and licensure, I know sometimes with student teaching, their professors will tell them, hey, you can look at this, but, this will let them understand too that once you processes. So as we start out, like what you were saying earlier, with like that 0 to 5 years, and once I hit year 5, being a veteran, you can take a look and see your points, right? And so I actually sat down with my mom, and I was so glad that I did this, because I was just talking to her, and I said, hey, what is the objective that we are trying to get for our early educators, so that way when they do continue into the profession, then they have that proper certification, tools, and resources to continue with the professional licensure and the certification processes, and then so on and so forth. And so some of the things that she was telling me was, when you first start out, especially for those that are coming in, you want to have at least 120 points, right? And so that number right there, 120, that will keep you going for a good while for your certification. And so these points are broken into different parts. And so if you have a master's degree and you want to pursue that, then that can also count into your points as well. But if you don't have your master's degree yet, that's okay too. And you can look at having one grad course being offered. And sometimes with these graduate courses, depending on your district, they will let you have these courses for free. And so all you have to do, like I said, just depending on your district, talk with your principal, talk with your admin, talk with your support team, and see what classes are there. Because sometimes, you might have to do half of the payment. Sometimes it's completely free. I know for me right now, I'm actually into my second graduate course with the University of South Carolina Aiken for doing multilanguage learning. So adding that onto my endorsements that I already have. And so, you can have the one grad course, having your points there, 60 renewal points. And so those things can be broken up into events, and then other professional development practices that are approved by the district. And then, like I said, if you have your master's degree, you only need 120 renewal points, and then you're good to go. Technology points are in there. And I like how you said earlier, with Cool Coaching, you guys have technology supports that you guys can offer. And so having those things on there, and then just professional development, and so every single district will have professional development. And that just simply means, if you don't have those work days where our students are home, or, wherever, then we come in and we can do, sign up for different classes throughout the day, and, kind of add that in. And then those count towards your points as well. One thing about that, though, is that you do want to make sure that your points stay consistent. And the reason for that is because when you start teaching, you don't want to have an extension, but you do want to make sure that everything kind of flows consecutively. And so having, that constant renewal, and just just checking with your district to say, hey, did this get accepted or did this get approved? And then if not, kind of figure out what you still need to accomplish and, add on to your certification. So then that way you can move forward. And so when we talk about that with our early educators, we don't want it to be a thing of where they feel overwhelmed. We want them to come in feeling prepared. We want them to come in feeling ready, but we also want them to come in, having these points ready to go. So that way they don't have to keep on getting extensions, because then after that, you don't want to be, kind of like put on a list of, hey, we have to watch this because you don't have your points, but we want to make sure that you're going to keep on going, that you have everything checked off. And so when we talk about the initial certificate, it's just simply stating that it's the standard educator credential and it's valid for a period of 3 years. And so if you guys see me kind of looking off to the side, I have my notes up here. But it's issued to eligible individuals who have completed an approved undergraduate or graduate level educator preparation program. And so the initial certificate is issued primarily to beginning educators or those without recent teaching experience. And so beyond the 3-year validity period, an educator who does not meet those requirements to advance to a renewable professional certificate must reapply. So you've got to make sure that you have those points in. And so once you move forward into that, like you said, there's so many resources, and ed.sc.gov has all of those things listed for our professionals that are coming in, and they have that hunger to be in the classroom and to even be in support staff, whatever they want to do, but just making sure that they have those proper credentials.
Alexandria, your camera is not on for some reason. I hear you loud and clear, and everything that you've said has come through, which is the most important part. But for some reason, your camera is not operating, and I'm not sure if there's a setting you can do. And I'll filibuster until you can look and see. And if you need to rejoin, we can do that. While she's figuring that out, I just want to let everybody know. Camille Cornell shared with us in the chat about our scene. So if you're interested in learning, if you're an earlier career educator, if you're in your first 5 years of teaching, you can learn more about SCENE at the scea.org/SCENE. We would love to connect with you if you're an early career educator. We have so many resources to support your journey as an educator and to help develop leadership skills and things like that. There you are. Back. So I think we left it off where you had mentioned the State Department website, which we've put up there, ed.sc.gov. So take it from there.
Oh, can you all still see me? I don't know if like something happened with the connection.
Yeah, you're perfect now. Go for it. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Can you hear me? You're good.
You're good? Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
I don't know if are you able to hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Go for it.
So I'm kind of confused. I don't know, like if maybe like you can hear me or not, but I can't hear you on this side. But I'm just going to keep on going with it, and we're just going to roll with it. Monitor and adjust. Life of a teacher. Another thing too, in terms of talking about certification and professional learning that's free, I also do Teach SC. And so with Teach SC, that's actually a new thing that's been implemented with the state, and to help educators, those that are early into the profession, those that are, kind of switching into other things. But we actually offer free resources to help them understand like their specific avenue as to where they want to go. So, if you want to do early childhood, we have that option. We have middle, high school, special education, so many different content areas to help those, get inside the environment of teaching and just have them awaken that knack for learning and helping others. And so that's also free as well. Normally with that, we can have a quick sign up. And so you guys can, log on to TeachSC, book an appointment with us. It's myself and 6 other advisors that we have with the state. And we can help guide you all in terms of, what you want to complete and what you want to do. Also, we also do alternative pathways. So for those that, did not have teaching as their first choice and they said, hey, I do want to look into this and I do want to come into this profession, what can I do? And so we actually have it to where we do pathways that are up to a year, up to 3 years, and just kind of depending on your flexibility and your availability that you have to complete these courses. And so we like to sit down with our guests and just kind of let them know we're here to support you. We want to make sure that you are thriving and that you are successful into this profession. And we just want to make sure that you can carry on with this for years to come if this is something that you still continue to choose to do. And so we've actually just recently, we've gotten a lot of calls from people across the state, just kind of figuring out, hey, how do I get my district to approve other credentials that I've had from another state? Or how do I get my district to approve credentials that I have from a neighboring district that's still in South Carolina? And so we like to tell them, hey, let's look at what you have so far. Let's see what can transfer over. And then let's see what else you might need to complete. That way you are still on track to come into the classroom and to still teach. And so those are some really great tools that a lot of people have been using. Our college students, it's all across, the colleges here in South Carolina. A lot of the professors share that with their students. And then we also have it for those that are still, coming into like maybe a first year, maybe a second year, a third or fourth or fifth year. And they are able to log on with us, select a time that works for them. And we always tell them, make the time work for you. So any time that works for you, it can also work for us. And then that way we can help you get to where you need to be and get you on the right track. So TeachSC is also a great site to use. And another site that we also use as well for professional learning is the South Carolina ETV program. South Carolina ETV, they have just copious amounts of tools and resources to help our educators. There's some courses, if you do want to pay, we have that option. And there's some courses where it's absolutely free. And so it's depending on your grade level, depending on the grade band that you want to teach in, and just kind of using that website to figure out where can I go for professional development? So for example, and I'm looking at it right here on the screen, we have self-paced courses. And I've actually done quite a few of those courses to where, depending on your district, you can turn the certification in. The only thing that you would have to do is just get it approved. It's still in state, but just making sure like it can transfer over. 9 times out of 10, it does. And so some of the points, you might get 1 point, you might get 2 points, you might get 3 points, but those points quickly add up. So South Carolina ETV, they have it to where you can do learning media courses for professional development, K through 12, professional learning for peer observers. You can do positive behaviors in schools, different formatives, assessments, leadership, just so many different things to explore. And normally when they have these courses, they do them on like Tuesdays and Thursdays. And normally you can choose 2 different times. So you could do like a 1:45 or you can do like a 4:30, and it's about an hour. And so normally they'll have different facilitators or coaches come in and talk about like what you were saying earlier, classroom management. What does that look like inside of a classroom for not only the teacher to thrive, but also the students to thrive? Because with classroom management, it's a lot easier to lay out the foundations, the expectations, and the goals for the entire year. And then that way the students know the focus. So I love using that website. There's a lot of things that you can submit from there, and it's just really great stuff. And and I always tell people, you can never have enough learning, you know what I mean? And so when you can use this site to help those and helping others, it really, really ties into why we are doing this as educators and why we are doing this as, professionals in South Carolina and beyond.
Absolutely. What's I'm putting you on the spot here. We'll say one of your favorite professional learning experiences that you've had since you've been in teaching. Can you hear me? don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to ask, can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it the sound?
Can you hear me? No, she can't hear me.
Not too good. Yep.
Okay. Well, that makes it kind of complicated. I'm going to type in the chat and see if you can you read this? I'm going to type it in the chat. Can you read this? Okay. So I'm going to ask you. Okay. Give me just a second.
Okay.
What is your favorite PD so far? Did you read that?
Good.
No, read.
Oh, I see one comment. We are always learning. Yes, that is true.
How about this one? Hold on.
Good. Oh, what is my favorite PD so far? And I like how we're still doing this. Like I said, monitor and adjust. So my favorite PD so far, would have to be learning styles for each student. Because no two students are going to be the same. And so when you have a class, like for me, I have 20 students. And so I have 20 different personalities. I have some kids that, might need extra support and enrichment. I have some that are ready to go on to the next thing. And so I like cultivating different learning styles because when you look at your students and you look at who they are as individuals, they're all special. They all carry a strength within them. And so you have to nurture that for them. And you have to, speak life into that to say, hey, I see that you have this quality. How can I keep pushing that for you so you can thrive and grow and succeed as you leave my classroom and go on to the next grade level? And so I like understanding different learning styles because some students might need, extra tactile things. Some students might need more things in an auditory manner. Some students might need more things in an emotional, conscious manner. And so I like having those classes to where I can sit down with other cohorts and just kind of, share some things and share some ideas, and we can bounce off of each other to say, what's working in your classroom with this learning style, and maybe what is something that I can take from you to use that for my students as well. So anything that's learning and behavior strategies, those are probably like my top two choices for PD.
Yeah, I like the idea of it being an interactive thing where you're not just getting from one person, but you're actually sharing with a variety of people. That's really great. I'm going to give you another question. I don't know if you can hear me, so I'm just going to ask you there. Any final
thoughts? So I would like to say just thank you so much once again. And just having us on here to share our platform. I think, if we can keep this momentum going and we can keep this fire ignited in us as teachers, whether it's, us in our 5 years of experience, whether it's us in our 10 years of experience, whether it's us in our 30 plus years of experience, I truly do have hope for this generation. And, just really getting our early educators in here to know, hey, we have you guys, so don't feel overwhelmed if they're telling you, hey, look at these PD sources or whatever else, but just coming in, enjoying the profession and, getting your feet wet and, just enjoying your kids, because that's really important too. And so many of them, even the ones that you think that you have not reached, they will see that and they will take that with them forever, and you will always make a difference in their life. So I really do appreciate the time on, even though we had some technical difficulties, this has still been fantastic, and just pivoting that and just making this a really great symposium for tonight, and just some great questions and answers.
Well, thank you so much, Alexandria. I know you can't hear me right now, but I'm thanking you. I appreciate your time tonight, and it's always great to talk with you and to be inspired by you. Thanks again. That's Alexandria Murray, everybody. I mean, every time you talk to some of the folks from Scene, you just get inspired, and you realize we've got some great young teachers, and these young teachers deserve to be paid well. They deserve our utmost respect. They deserve really great working conditions. And we, as veteran educators, need to be fighting for teachers like Alexandria Murray, because we need them in the classroom today, but we also need them there 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. We need them to become those veteran educators, so that they can help mentor new educators. And right now, our profession is really under attack, and these young people deserve all this love and support that we can give them. So if you're a teacher or a community member or know someone who's going to be around teachers, we just need to give them a lot of love and a lot of support, and we need to pay them well. And so hopefully you will vote for folks that are understand the value of teachers and what they deserve to be paid, and the types of working conditions that they deserve. And so with that, I would just encourage you to take a look at the bottom of the screen, and there's an opportunity, if you are not currently a member of the SCEA, which is the movement in South Carolina to deliver on the wages and working conditions that teachers deserve, the only union for educators in South Carolina, not just classroom teachers, but bus drivers, cafeteria workers, front office staff, anybody that works in a public school building in South Carolina. You can join our movement at jointhescea.org, or you can text the word join to 48744. You can also connect with us at the scea.org/YRO. I'd like to again thank Alexandria Murray. She is the Scene Low Country chairperson. We're going to be having a Scene conference this Saturday. Very excited about that. There's about 50 of these early career educators coming to Columbia to meet with us, and we're going to do all kinds of really cool, fun activities and professional learning at this conference on Saturday, and I'm really excited and honored to be a part of that. I want to thank Sierra Robinson for watching. She said this was amazing, and thanks for the information. Angelica Francesca, who does our Cool Beans podcast, that she did an amazing job, and we have to grow as educators. Arthur Murray says, awesome, Alexandria. We love you, Mom and Dad. So Mom and Dad, we're definitely watching. And Sierra said, thanks for those kind words. Todd, Scene appreciates you. Well, I appreciate Scene. They're such an inspiring young group of teachers. And again, a lot of great information. And thanks to Keneal for watching. And Keneal has been doing a great job helping to develop our early career educator programs. So thanks again for watching tonight. A couple of things I want to promote. One is Cool Coaching. So please don't tune off. Tune into this. This is really important. So if you are an early career educator, or if you know early career educators, sometimes you need to ask somebody a question, but maybe you don't want to ask your neighbor teacher or your administrator, because you're kind of like, I don't know, I don't know who to go to for this. Maybe you just need some guidance, some advice, or you need to just kind of bounce some ideas off of a veteran educator who's not going to be responsible for evaluating you, who's not going to judge you, who's just going to give you honest feedback. We do that for free. Cool is set up. Our induction program is set up to provide free one-on-one coaching for induction teachers in South Carolina. All you have to do is go to the website, cool.us/coaching. You can go right now, actually. They're there right now. They're there every Tuesday and Thursday night from 6 to 8 o'clock. You just log on to the website, log in. You're going to get with Angie Brush, Stephanie Johnson, or Dr. Marcella Weinsnyder. All amazing educators. And you can ask them whatever questions you have. You can bounce ideas off them. You can confer with them, and they will give you support and guidance. And it's a wonderful free program that we offer. So, and you don't have to be a member of the SCEA to do that. So please make sure that our induction teachers, that's folks within the first 5 years, know about that program. Related to that is another thing we do called Dear Cool Coach. And you can go to cool.us/Dear Coach, and you can submit questions. So say you don't want to go do a one-on-one call, but you have a question and you'd like to submit that. You can submit those questions and we'll answer those. And we actually have already posted the answers to 2 of those on social media. So you can check out the SCEA page and the Cool page on Facebook, Twitter, and we answer those questions. So amazing stuff that Dr. Marcella Weinsnyder, who's one of the best minds in education in South Carolina. We're so proud to have her on the team at Cool and the SCEA. She's doing incredible work with developing our induction resources. I also want to point you to a workshop that we're going to do over the summer. This is July 11th. Karen Beeman and Jennifer Dollar, they operate Columbia College's Master's in Trauma-Informed Education program. So you can get a Master's in Trauma-Informed Education, a really amazing subject area for educators to really immerse themselves in, to learn about trauma and its impacts on our students and impacts on ourselves and our teachers. We're going to do a 1-day workshop where you're going to get just the basics. We're not going to dive super deep, but just get a basic overview of trauma-informed practices. You can go to cool.us/trauma. It's $40 for non-members of the SCEA, and it's free for members of the SCEA. So this is a no-brainer. We'll give you a certificate so you can get your hours that Alexandria alluded to. Plus, we're going to give you a free lunch. So definitely want to check that out. It's July 11th at the SCEA headquarters in Columbia. Also, 2 more things. One is we shot this documentary series. It's called Rehumanizing School. It's about 2 small schools in Floyd, Virginia, that I found that are really doing some very progressive things that, to me, support human well-being. So they're nurturing of people's wellness, the teachers and the students. And so what the docuseries does is it starts off and it gives you the teacher experience at this elementary school in this small rural town. And then it gives you the teacher experience at the high school, Springhouse. And then it gives you the student experience at the elementary and the student experience at the high school. So you're going to hear the voices of both teachers and students at these schools. And as I've been editing this together, and I'm on the final episode right now, I'm just putting the last touches on it. I mean, there's just so much in it that I had a hard time editing it down, because what they have to say is so powerful about culture and about the importance of being seen and being able to be their authentic selves and to be in a community of support at these schools. And it's just a wonderful and powerful vision for what schools could be. And it's really a conversation starter around school culture and about, maybe we should move away from this heavy emphasis on standardized testing and all the data that surrounds it, and maybe re-emphasize what human beings need to flourish, what we need socially, emotionally, mentally, physically. Like, those things should be foundational pieces, because we've kind of thrown Maslow out the door, and we need to bring Maslow back in as a foundational psychological sort of framework, because human beings can't learn if these other needs aren't met. If their foundational needs aren't met, they'll never get to the top of that pyramid, which is self-actualization. And I feel like these schools, the people there actually have an opportunity to get to that self-actualization. We can't get there if we're just focused on tests and all we see kids as data points and teachers as preparers for tests. So I hope that you will go to the website, sign up for early access to the Rehumanizing School docuseries. It's a 4-part series. If you sign up, there's no obligation. There's nothing that's going to happen. It's just to sign up. You'll be emailed a passcode to be able to access all of them on April 22nd, which is Earth Day. So I'm going to go to Floyd, premiere this with the folks in that town on April 19th. And then the folks who sign up for early access will receive that access on April 22nd. You'll get that passcode. You'll be able to watch not only the 4 episodes, but there's all kinds of bonus footage, including the full interviews that I did. So if there's a particular person that you found fascinating, you can watch their full uncut interview on the website. So there'll be a ton of footage there. And then if you're interested in hosting a screening in your school or your community, we'll actually come and set up a screening, and you can watch 1 or all 4 of the episodes. And then we can possibly connect with the folks in Floyd, and we can do a Q&A with the folks that appear in the documentary afterwards. So if you're interested in that, just reach out to us. And as always, all the resources that we have at Cool, at our Center for Educator Wellness and Learning, are available on the website at cool.us. So we would love for you to go there to check out all these resources. We have member-created content that's incredible. Steve Newsom writes amazing long-form pieces on important issues in education. Pete Stone creates these really great videos that get you to think. Cassie Owens-Moore is creating content around banned books. She's a librarian from Oconee County, an amazing mind. We have Nurin Willis, who creates videos about LGBTQ and intersectionality issues. We have Mindy Penn, who does cool stories. She's a veteran educator, just tells heartfelt, vulnerable, authentic stories about what it's like to be a teacher and what she goes through as a teacher. And there's so much more. I know I'm going to forget somebody if I start trying to list it all, but there's so many things on that website, so many things, like, and all the live streams we've done, the interview that we did with Diane Ravitch, the interview that we did with Chris Niebauer, I mean, authors and education thought leaders, so many things. And next week, I lied. We're gonna promo one more thing. We're gonna have Nicole Scholdes. I think it's how you pronounce her last name, similar to mine, Scholdes. And she's going to be talking about cultivating classroom efficiency and leveraging AI for everyday teaching tasks. Some of you may remember Larissa Black, who did a session on AI in the classroom. This is going to be a similar type thing about leveraging the artificial intelligence to help cut down on some of the mundane tasks, everyday teaching tasks that you have, to help sort of carve out, hopefully, if this makes you do them more efficiently, you'll have more time for rest and self-care and your family, and to do some of the things that you need to nourish and take care of yourself, like Alexandria was mentioning. Again, thank you, Alexandria Murray. Thank you to everyone at Scene, to all of our early and noble educators. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. I want to thank everybody on our staff at the SCEA. We have an amazing team at the SCEA. We have some powerful and incredible people out there doing hard work every day to build our movement. And I want to say thanks to all my fellow staff members. And I want to say thanks to everybody at NEA who has been so supportive of the work that we do at Cool. And I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. And we appreciate it. And we hope that you have a wonderful weekend with your families. Please, teachers, take some time, leave your laptop at the school, take some time, unplug, and nourish yourselves. You deserve it. You deserve it. So we love you. We care about you. And we'll see you next week on the 27th with information about AI. And y'all take care. Bye.